Guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emily. I'm a medical herbalist and the founder of Pohutakawa Health. And today we are going to do a herb garden update. So it is the end of June here in Saskatchewan and my garden is cranking along, and there are actually quite a few new additions to show you as well. If you're new here and you have no idea what I'm talking about, I have been turning my front yard urban lot into a medicinal wildflower garden, and I will link the playlist in the cards and in the description box down below for you to check out if you want to see the earlier videos, follow along and see what the process of building this from scratch has looked like. If you are interested in medicinal herbs and learning more about the plants that grow easily and wild in your neighborhood, please hit subscribe to follow along, and you can also follow me on Instagram there. I sometimes do like sneak peeks of things in my garden as they are growing. Let's head outside and check out what we've got going on. Welcome to the front yard garden. This is the view from the house. So my original plan was really to do like the whole front yard, but except for that tree that gets to stay. But we're actually getting some work done on our house, and a bobcat needs to drive through this part of the yard in the next week or so. So instead, we've just got this kind of like one side, which is actually plenty. Let's go through and look at the plants. Okay, so let's start with this beast here. This is Motherwort, Leonurus cardiaca. This was a perennial that was gifted to me by a friend, and look, it's flowering. It's so pretty. I use Motherwort a lot in clinic, for like nervous heart conditions, and we sometimes say it's like the plant that mothers those who mother. So lots of like parents and people who have like caregiving kinds of roles in their families. I have a bunch of creeping thyme on the ground here. That's flowering as well. It's doing beautifully. This is a new addition. This is a Jerusalem artichoke. So it'll like grow up like a sunflower. That got given to me by my sister's boyfriend. I've got my chamomile down here, which is doing well. Look, it's starting to flower. So I don't know if I'm going to have enough chamomile flowers to actually have this be useful, but maybe I should actually harvest these because it's the only one that's flowering so far, but it's early days still. Okay, going this way, this is an Arnica. I don't actually know what species this is, but it's also flowering. That got given to me a while ago. Sorry about my shadow here. This is a prairie sage, which is actually like an Artemisia species. I don't know. I can't remember the exact species. I'll put it in the description box below. I'll probably actually put a plant list of everything in the description box below. But this smells really beautiful. And yeah, it's actually quite good for like keeping bugs away. I just like love the foliage of it. This is my chamomile. So none of this patch is flowering yet. I have a few yarrow plants in the middle here. These are not flowering in here yet, so we'll see how they go. Then we get into my Lemonbalm, which I have a really nice bunch of Lemonbalm plants, and they just smell so beautiful. Lemonbalm is one of my most used plants. Just pick weeds while I'm talking to you. I use it for stress and digestion, and we just use the leaves, so these will continue to grow out, and I should get a really solid harvest from that because it kind of goes on. This is Catnip, which looks super similar. It's actually starting to flower now too. The leaves are a little bit softer than the Lemonbalm. The smell is slightly different, but really similar uses again, and this I'm probably going to start harvesting right away so that it doesn't all just kind of go to seed right away. But yeah, this is very exciting. It's doing super well. I have a few more chamomile plants here. They're doing really well, so hopefully those will flower right away, and I'll keep going. This is a peppermint plant that somebody gifted me, which is doing really well. My peppermint that I sowed from seed was not doing well originally, but I actually have a pretty good plant in a pot right now, so I'll show you that in a bit. These are wild strawberries. Not necessarily something I would use medicinally, but just kind of looking for some ground cover and things that will kind of flesh out, and hopefully we'll get some berries on them one point soon. This is looking a little bit sad, but this is actually a St. John's wort plant. that was gifted to me by a friend. It was a volunteer in her garden. Lots of people don't like St. John's wort in their gardens because it's a little bit invasive, but we're gonna just keep it well contained and hope it doesn't die. It's not looking great, but it's kind of perked up. More wild strawberries. This baby is looking a bit sad. This is sorrel, which is actually more like a edible green. It's kind of like a lemony tasting spinach. It's looking a little bit sad, but it's perennial, so hopefully it'll bounce back. I've got like a native perennial onion that you can eat, so that's kind of cool. Look at my nasturtiums. They're doing so good. I've got a few more plants. I think last time I had like one tiny one that was just popping up, and now I've got that guy. And here's another one. So they've got these really telltale like lily pad sort of looking leaves. There's another one, and another one, and another one. I did just weed in here. Further down, oh, I got a cool order in the other day from a place called Prairie Originals in Manitoba, and they sell like native prairie plants, and this is gumweed, which is Grindelia squarosa, which we use medicinally, really good for coughs. Okay, so now we're in this kind of like bottom bit of the garden. Almost all of this is like quite new down here. I got this really cool perennial wildflower. I just think it's really pretty. These are daylilies, which look very sad. I planted stuff and then we had the most horrific wind and a lot of stuff got kind of nailed in the wind. This is bee balm, which is sometimes also called monarda. And I have a little baby one down here as well. That's what the flowers look like, and the bees just absolutely love it. But it's also part of the mint family and can be used for like digestion, and it smells, sometimes people call it wild bergamot, and it smells kind of, I don't know, I think it's kind of like oregano, but apparently it's meant to be bergamot-ish, like that kind of orangey smell. This looks like sad nothing, but these are violets, which would be done now anyways. I don't know if they're going to make it, but they are perennial, so hopefully they come back. This is pineapple weed, which grows, it's hilarious to put it in a garden because really it just like grows in the cracks of sidewalks here, but it is like a perennial, actually I think it's an annual that just self-sows really well, but it's another kind of chamomile that never really gets the full daisies, just kind of keeps that little yellow head, but really good for stress and digestion, similar to German chamomile. Ooh, look at, this is a yarrow that is, looks like it's getting ready to do something. From that same order, that Prairie Originals, I got some echinaceas, which I hope survive, because my echinaceas that I tried to seed did not do well. But this is meant to be perennial, Echinacea angustifolia, which is the species that I like to use medicinally. But I'm probably not going to pull up the roots to use it, but just leave it as a beautiful flower. Okay, we're back up at the top. This is my valerian plant, which is just looking so beautiful. I've actually never seen valerian flower, so we'll see what happens there. That is a plant called Bee's Friend. I've never used it, but it's really been, like, the pollinators are loving it, and it's been flowering for ages already. This is hyssop, which should have a beautiful blue flower on it and will also be great for bees, but is also a good plant for coughs. And this is marshmallow, which is also brilliant for coughs. The last one, this is actually my backyard hiding behind my absolutely massive rhubarb plant. It's like prehistoric. But this is my nettles! And this was such a tiny little baby, and it actually was looking so sad. And it's growing really well, which is awesome because I harvested a bunch of nettles and I didn't dry them properly, and I had to chuck them in the compost. So hopefully this guy will be a bit of a later one that I can harvest soon. Guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed that little walk through my garden. Things are really growing and really happening now, and it feels super exciting. I can't wait to start harvesting bits and pieces and actually get to use these plants in my clinic and with my family and stuff as well. If you liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more and learn more about medicinal plants, how you can use them, how to identify them, how to grow them in your own garden, please hit that subscribe button. I would love if you follow it along. I will link my Instagram down below as well. So if you want to follow me there, it's just @Pohutakawa Health. You can do so too. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye.